Hi, Flick here from the Nerd Soapbox, and today we are at the 2022 LA Comic Con with a special guest. She is an actress, a voice actress, best known to the Nerd Soapbox gang for performing the voices of Dexter from Dexter's Laboratory, Cheese and Coco from Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, Snap and Reggie Bullnerd from ChalkZone, and Nick Dean from Jimmy Neutron. If you guessed Candi Milo, then you guessed correctly. Hi,
Good
Candi.
morning, Flick. How are you?
Oh, I'm fine. How are you?
I am very well, thank you. I'm very excited to speak to you. We both have glasses.
We do. I
do?
like yours. Are nice.
Well, thank you. So are yours.
Thank you. So, Candi, how's your convention so far?
It's so fun. We did a big Jimmy Neutron panel yesterday that was jam-packed.
I was there.
Did you get to meet
script
Steve?
reading?
Yes, the script reading, and Steve Odenkirk,
Yeah.
the creator, was there. So that was a lot
I
of fun.
slipped him one of my business cards.
I'm so glad. I will tell you that we hadn't read together since the beginning of COVID, so it's been about 3.5 years, and it was so fun to sit with my friends.
Oh, that's
and
fantastic.
read. Yeah, it was great.
Wow. Okay, so what was your fandom growing up? Were you into sports or comic books or dolls or cartoons?
I was into Broadway musicals, and
Really?
when I moved to Los Angeles from Northern California,
Which musicals?
I loved Mame. I performed in the original touring company of Dreamgirls in the 80s.
Really?
Yes, and
Oh.
I had a blast doing
Okay.
that. And so that's what brought me to Los Angeles, and what turned me into cartoons was that I could use my voice in a different way.
for good instead of evil.
Well,
It's just the way you said it. It's
no,
like,
no.
and I
And you know, as soon as I was saying it, like I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, what are you really trying to say, Candi?
But I asked you about the Broadway because
Yep.
when I was a kid, I owned 2 records, and my favorite records were Fiddler on the Roof,
Oh, I love
original
Fiddler.
Broadway cast,
Oh,
and funny thing happened to me on the way to the Forum.
do you know I did that musical? I did Domina in that musical,
Really?
and I also played. We did it in a very truncated version at the Gary Marshall Theater in
Oh.
Toluca Lake, California.
A lot of fun.
Yeah, and I played Domina, and I also played the eunuch. And I wore false teeth and a wig, and it wasn't. And to this day, a lot of people don't know that it was also me,
That's
which was very
fantastic.
fun. Yeah, it was
Wow.
really great. They wouldn't let me wear my glasses though, so I kept tripping on the stage.
Wow. Is it all right? Is it true you accidentally got into voiceover?
It is true. I was performing at a friend's memorial who had passed away,
Oh, okay.
and his colleagues were all agents at William Morris, and they gave me their card, and I was thinking, oh, I'm going to be finally going back to Broadway. No,
Right.
I'm going into cartoons. And I said I
Wow.
didn't want to. And they said, just go on this audition. It was for Sweetie Pie for Steven Spielberg, and I got a call back, and I didn't really want to do it because this was not the life that I wanted. That was not the
Right.
career I wanted.
Right.
And then I got to meet Steven Spielberg, who said, oh, you should be doing this, cartoons. And I went,
Wow.
well, if the man who made E.T. said that I should be doing this, I should be doing this.
Okay. Can you walk us through the process for your creating a unique voice for a new character?
Oh, absolutely. First of all, I read everything.
All right.
When I get a piece, a lot of times we don't get the drawing of the character.
Really?
Because that's really something you want to keep, animators want to keep very special and locked under so that it
Okay.
isn't copied. And then what I try to do, Flick, is I try to find a commonality. Like, how is this character like me? Rather than, oh, it's so different from me, I'm going to create this voice. If I can find how a character, no matter good or bad, is like me, then the voice comes naturally through me. It's weird. I know.
Oh, all right. That's really good. Okay.
Yeah, thank you. I thought of that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Wow. All right. I'd like lightning round.
Okay.
I'd like to name a couple of projects you worked on, or a couple of characters, and have you share with us a small remembrance or possible anecdote about them.
Okay.
Here we go. Cow and chicken.
Cow, chicken. Oh, it's time for pork butts and tater tots. I also did the teacher on that show, and I had a great time. And a part of our cast was a very brand new Tom Kenny and a very old Howie Morris
Wow.
from the Andy Griffith Show.
Yeah.
Yeah, very
Right.
fun.
Dexter.
Dee, get out of my laboratory.
I had taken over for Christine Cavanaugh, who had retired, and the greatest thing that ever happened was the only way that they played me into getting into The Voice was all they had during the sessions was cartoon. And so I would listen to that and then go into The Voice.
Whoa.
Not a lot. Not a lot to go on, Flick.
All right. Dr. Nora Wakeman.
Oh, ex-Jane Boyle, no. And that character is Jane Hathaway from the Beverly Hillbillies.
Okay, I can
Yeah,
hear it.
you're hearing a little of that? Okay.
Yeah. All right. Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends.
We're brother ladies. I have scurvy. I like potatoes. I like chocolate milk. Blue cheese. Oh, dearie me. I'm Madam Foster from Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. And I drive a hot rod T-Bird. You're welcome.
I'm sorry. I love that show.
Thank you, I do too.
Okay, ChalkZone.
Oh, Rudy, you gotta draw something. And one of the funniest things is that they didn't want me to do the voice of Reggie Bruner because they said that he just sounded too mean. And I was like, how can that be mean? Oh.
All right. Mucha Lucha.
Orale pues, I am the flavor mucha lucha.
I am also the headmistress, and I was Ricochet's mama.
Wow. Nick Dean.
Yo, dude, I had somebody come up to me today and said, hey, dude, why'd they write you out of the show? And I was like, too handsome, man. Much more handsome than Nerd Bomb.
Okay, are you Granny?
I am, dearie. I'm Granny in a Space Jam 2, but I'm also Granny, Witch Hazel, and a bunch of others. Petunia Pig, Miss Prissy, all of those for Looney Tunes cartoons. We also have a short called King Tweety that's up right now. Oh, dear.
Stop it.
I can't.
Rudolph? Rankin Bass is
Yeah,
Rudolph?
Rankin Bass, and sadly they passed away. I redid the voice.
Gee, Clarice, there's something awfully special about you.
I know. That's Rudolph. That was
picture right here.
That was my favorite cartoon growing up as a
Yeah.
kid. Never thought I would ever be able to do that. Greatest honor of my life.
Wow. Wow. That's all I can say is wow.
Wow.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
say it together.
Wow. What is an obscure voiceover job that you did that your fans would be surprised to know was you?
I did the movie Cool World, and
Yeah.
I played Lonette in Cool World, which was a cartoon version, and I was Brad Pitt's girlfriend. And I actually rehearsed with him on the set, and he was adorable. He was
Whoa.
adorable.
Wow. That's really neat.
Yeah, it was very neat.
Could you tell us about your new book, Surviving the Odd?
It is the memoir of my childhood. My father
Right.
was a very famous child actor in New York. If he were alive, he'd be 105.
Right.
So back in the early 20th century, he was a stand-up and a singer. He was basically an opener or a middle act. And he gave it all up in 1969 to open California's very first halfway house for the mentally challenged and emotionally disturbed, and just moved all us kids right in with him. And he spent the last years of his life, 17 years, devoted to the care of those who could not care for themselves. And it's where my heart comes from.
That's
And-
wonderful.
Yeah, thank you. And it's just growing up, not really having a lot of slumber parties. I couldn't have people over to the house.
All right.
We did eventually move next door, and then eventually moved away, and it became more of a business. But for the first couple of years, it was 24/7, and I wouldn't have
Wow.
changed it for the world.
Okay, all right. What are you working on now?
I am working on Pine and the Puppies for Apple, and I'm working on Interrupting Chicken, and I am, which is
Interrupting
also
Chicken?
Interrupting Chicken. It's based on a children's book. It's hilarious. That's also Apple TV,
All right.
and then I'm doing a lot of Looney Tunes projects. We've just wrapped 209 episodes,
Whoa.
but they're doing a lot of short films, so
All right,
I'm
all right.
doing a lot of that.
But where could your fans find you on social media?
I am on TikTok, and I'm having a blast. I'm on TikTok
Right.
at Candi Milo. I am on Instagram as the Candi Milo. And I am on Facebook as Candi Milo. And
Right.
you're all welcome to come and join me anywhere. I'm slowly weaning myself off Twitter. It's not very kid friendly, and that's what I am as a
All
big
right,
grown up kid.
Well, gee, Candy, thanks for talking to us.
You're welcome.
This is
Flick.
fantastic.
This was a blast.
Yeah. Could Dexter or and Coco say goodbye to us and take us out?
Yes. Oh. What she is trying to say to you is thanks for joining in on the Flick and Candi Milo show, and we hope you have a marvelous day. And if you can't have a marvelous day, have a very scientific one.
That's fantastic.
You're welcome.
Oh, nice. Can I get a hug?
Yes.
All right. Let's see who we can find at LA Comic Con 2022.